Kote Gaeshi, wrist return. The Tori is standing in Muhen Muso no Kamae. The Uke is in Hira no Kamae with a katana in the saya. He steps backward with the right leg, drawing the katana into a left forward Daijutsu, and then steps forward with the right leg, cutting downward to Tento with Karatakawari. To avoid the cut, the Tori steps slightly forward and to the right with the right leg, bringing the left leg around to the left, opening up to the left in a wind-like movement. Then rotating the right wrist counterclockwise, strike with the free end of the hanbo to the base of the uke's right thumb. Continue around with katate fury and again strike to the base of the right thumb, then bring the hanbo free end back to the left hand and assume a right forward seigan-like kamae. Saka Otoshi, dropping head first. The Tori is in Katata Yuburi no Kamae and the Uke is in Hira no Kamae with the katana in the saya. The Uke steps back with the right leg, drawing the katana into a left forward Daijutsu, and then steps forward with the right leg, cutting down to Tento with Karatakawari. To avoid the cut, the Tori steps forward slightly to the left with the left leg and brings the right leg around and behind to the left to open to the right, in the process reversing the grip with the right hand. Then release the hanbo with the left hand and counterclockwise rotate the right hand to strike downward with the free end of the hanbo to the base of the right thumb. Then continuing with katate fury, strike either to menbu, the face, either kasumi, the temple area. Second variation. Same as before, but the Tori is in Muhen Muso. As the cut comes down, the Tori steps forward with the left leg and opens to the right as before, rotating the right wrist counterclockwise, striking directly to menbu or kasumi. Third interpretation. The Tori is again in Muhen Muso, and as the cut comes down, step forward to the right slightly with the right leg, bringing the left leg around counterclockwise to open to the left. Strike upwards underneath the kote with the free end of the hanbo. Then grab the free end of the hanbo with the left hand, and with the middle of the hanbo strike just above the left elbow, knocking the uke's arms and katana away. And then with the right end of the hanbo strike to the left temple. Arai Waza sweeping technique. The tori is in Muhen Muso, and the uke is in Hira no Kamae, with the katana in the saya. The uke steps back with the right leg, drawing the katana into a left forward daijutsu, and then steps forward with the right leg to cut down to tento with karatakawari. To avoid the cut, the tori steps forward with the right leg and brings the left leg around counterclockwise back and to the left, then strikes downward onto the right kote with the far end of the hanbo. Continuing in katate fury, then strikes to the right kasumi. You can also do double strikes to the right kote and then double strikes to right and left kasumi with the katate fury. Soto Wa outside circle, aka Gai Rin, paddle wheel. The tori is in Muhen Muso, and the uke is in Hira no Kamae with a katana in the saya. The uke steps back with the right leg, drawing the sword into a left forward daijutsu, and then switches to seigan. Stepping forward with the right leg, he then thrusts to suigetsu, the solar plexus, with the katana. The tori, to avoid the cut, steps back to the right with the left leg, turning the torso counterclockwise, opening to the left to avoid the cut, and then rotates the right hand counterclockwise, striking down onto the right kote. Continuing in katate fury, he then does a second strike to the right kote, then bring the free end of the hanbo to the left hand, sliding the hanbo through the right hand, strike with the right end into kage, the xiphoid process, or menbu, the face. Hachi Honme, main technique number 1. The tori is in Muhen Muso no Kamae. The uke is in Hira no Kamae. The uke steps forward with the right leg and grabs the left lapel with the right hand for Hidari Katate Mune Dori. The tori steps left with the left leg and brings the upper end of the hanbo up to the outside of the tori's right wrist, kote, forearm near the wrist, and sends that end over the forearm. Then, reaching under the uke's arm with the left hand, grab the far end of the hanbo, forming a triangle between the hanbo and the two forearms. Scissoring the elbows out, apply pressure to the kote as you step back with the right leg or go down onto the right knee and pull the uke down onto his face. Ni Honme, main technique number 2. The tori is in Muhen Muso no Kamae. The uke is in Hira no Kamae. The uke steps forward and grabs both lapels with both arms for Dyote Katate Mune Dori. The tori steps to the left with the left leg and brings the upper end of the hanbo to the outside of the uke's right kote, forearm near the wrist, and sends the right end over both arms. Then reaching under the uke's arms with the left arm, grab the right end of the hanbo, forming a triangle with the forearms and the hanbo. While scissoring the elbows out, step back with the right knee or go down onto the right knee to bring the uke down onto his face. San Honme, main technique number 3. The tori is in Muhen Muso and the uke is in Hira no Kamae. The uke steps forward and grabs both lapels with both hands for Dyote Katate Munidori. The tori steps to the left with the left leg, bringing the upper end of the hanbo to the outside of the uke's right kote, forearm near the wrist, sending the right end over the right kote. Grabbing underneath the right arm with the left hand, the tori grabs the right end of the hanbo and applies downward pressure onto the right kote. Then release the hanbo with the right hand, causing the hanbo to rotate counterclockwise and striking downward onto the uke's left kote. Then grab the now right end of the hanbo with the right hand and slam downward onto the kote with the hanbo to release the grip. Shi Honme, main technique number 4. The tori is in Muhen Muso. The uke is in Hira no Kamae. The uke steps forward with the left leg and grabs the tori's right kote, forearm near the wrist, with the left hand for Migi Kote Dori. The tori sends the upper end of the hanbo to the outside of the uke's left kote and reaches over the kote with the left hand and grabs the upper end of the hanbo. With a counterclockwise torso twist, apply outside pressure to the uke's kote, applying a gyaku takeo-ri to the wrist. Let go with the left hand and rotate the right hand clockwise to strike into suigetsu with the free end of the hanbo, and then proceed into katate fury, one-handed swinging strikes. Go Honme, main technique number 5. The tori is in Muhen Muso and the uke is in Hira no Kamae. The uke steps forward with the left leg and with both hands grabs the tori's right kote, forearm near the wrist, for Dyote Kote Dori. The tori sinks his hips and grabs the end of the hanbo near the ground with the left hand. Using body movements, slide the hanbo in the right hand, sending the right end of the hanbo into the crook of the uke's left elbow. While turning the body counterclockwise, raise the left end of the hanbo and press the right end of the hanbo down into the crook of the uke's elbow to send the uke's arm into Musha Dori. As the uke falls, he will let go of the hanbo. Then you proceed into Katate Fury, one-handed swinging strikes. The tori is in Muhen Muso no Kamae. The uke is in Hidari Me Seigan no Kamae, left forward Seigan. The uke steps forward with the right leg and throws a right Jodan ski to Menbu, right lunge punch to the face. The tori steps back with the right leg in an Ichimonji-like movement and raises the right forearm to strike for Jodan Ukanagashi, upper level block. Sending the hanbo underneath the uke's arm to the outside of the elbow. The torii steps forward and grabs the free end of the hanbo with the left hand, pressing the left forearm to the right forearm of the uke and raising the hanbo with the right hand, turning counterclockwise, sending the uke down to the ground with omate oni kudaki. Hachi Honme, main technique number 7. The torii is in Muhen Muso. The uke is in Hira no Kamae. The uke steps forward with the left leg and grabs both lapels for Gyote Katate Munidori. And then turning counterclockwise, the uke inserts the right hip to attempt a Koshinage, forward hip throw. To break the hip throw, the torii steps back with the right leg to the right and sinks the hips. Let the hanbo's free end come up and under the uke's arms and around the body at the floating ribs area. Reaching behind the uke with the left hand, the torii grabs the free end of the hanbo and pulls backwards, crushing the floating ribs. Turning counterclockwise, sending the uke down onto the ground. Let go with the left hand as the uke falls, and then bring the free end of the hanbo to the left hand, and then slide the hanbo through the right hand to ski into do, the uke's body, while he is on the ground. Hachi Honme, main technique number 8. The torii is in Muhen Muso. The uke is in Hira no Kamae behind the uke. The uke applies Kanuki Jime, a bear hug, rear bear hug, over the arms. The torii drops the hips for Koshi Kudaki, hip break, and sending the free end of the hanbo behind the uke's forward leg, grab the free end of the hanbo with the left hand. Pulling forward on the hanbo and pushing back with the hips, send the uke onto his back. Turning around, place the shins on the inside of the thighs and press the uke's legs outward. Grab the left end of the hanbo with the left hand and sliding it through the right hand, strike into the uke's face with the right end of the hanbo. If you have a bad hip like me, drop down onto the right knee in order to get the hanbo behind the uke's leg. Kyu Honme, main technique number 9. The torii is in Muhen Muso. The uke is in Hira no Kamae. The uke steps forward with the left leg and grabs the top of the hanbo with the left hand. The torii rotates the right wrist counterclockwise, bringing the free end of the hanbo up to the left hand. Then with tai sabaki, managing with body movement, press the right end of the hanbo up towards the uke's hidari waki, left axilla, which will apply Gyaku Takio Ri to the uke's left wrist. Letting go with the right hand of the hanbo, grab the uke's left elbow with the right hand and pressing upward in an arching-like movement as you step forward and left with the right leg, throw the uke to the ground. Re-grab the hanbo with the right hand. Letting go of the hanbo with the left hand, rotate the right wrist clockwise, re-grabbing the near end of the hanbo with the left hand as you strike to the uke with the free end of the hanbo.